Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in the state of hockey. In the previous episode, we went through a troublesome re-sign and free agency period. Most importantly, the re-sign phase, and if you didn't catch that episode, I suggest you watch it through and through. Because we brought back one superstar, and then we made a major move. One of the biggest moves we made in franchise history. One of the biggest moves we've made since bringing over Anthony Francis to the squad. We brought over a former first overall pick. But before we get into the lineups, I want to say, guys, we're really close to 500 subscribers. You guys are killing it. I appreciate all the support. I know it's a rough time here in 2020, but all I really want to do is bring some happiness to somebody. Make some enjoyable memories, even if I'm white noise in the background. As long as you're here for the ride, that's all that matters to me. And if you're enjoying yourself, that matters too. So let's talk about the Minnesota Wild. Now, in the re-sign phase, I was heavily involved with two men. Alexander Hudobin and Cale Newman. Those were the two free agents. And we could only really bring back one. We ended up bringing back Cale Newman. He's an absolute all-star, one of the best players on the squad, one of the most underrated guys on the squad compared to his peers. Hudobin, where did he go? He went to the Ottawa Senators for a former first overall pick, Toby Kahn. Now, that did overshadow a lot of stuff, and in that sort of vein, we kind of forgot about a few things. But we'll talk about it. The Minnesota Wild here in 2035. Now, I know you're looking at the third line like, ew, that's gross. Why don't you after the first and second line, you don't have any centermen? We're going to discuss that. The best news is that the cap has gone up a little bit. So that will help us acquire a centerman. I have two trade destinations right here on this piece of paper that we will discuss. So look at this lineup. There's one hole that we will fill, so don't worry about it too much. I just wanted to show you this lineup, how it's crafted. The guy that's coming over is going to slot him really well on that third line. But let's talk about the new Minnesota Wild. Now, I know that trade was controversial. Toby Kahn is a former first overall pick. He's a year older than Alexander Hudobin. Hudobin played on the first line for 2 years with two future Hall of Famers. Toby Kahn was on the block from Ottawa, and during the draft I saw him and I'm like, damn, that's a really interesting player, but I don't know if we have the right assets to do that. When we traded for him, obviously we made the cap work, but the more interesting thing is Hudobin slotted in perfectly to trade for Toby Kahn. The trade value is very similar. We just added a prospect defenseman who probably was never going to make the NHL anyways. And they accepted. Half retained. He's making $5 million now. The more interesting thing is, it's kind of our downfall here. He has 1 year left on this deal, so he has 1 year fully in Minnesota. My plan is to bring him back because there may be a retirement that will change the cap situation for us for the better. I know it hurts that this guy's going to go, but we will get into that. Toby Kahn, I'm very happy he's here in Minnesota. We were debating the trade. Oh, Cale Newman, should he stay? Should Hudobin stay? Cale Newman's legit. We know he's legit. He can put up goals. He's a playoff MVP. We know he can do it all. 6-time Stanley Cup champion. He can do it all. Toby Kahn is playing on the first line. Now, he was a centerman coming over from Ottawa, but we know Anthony Francis, Gogolev, Harrison Hadar are kind of in those positions right now. Toby Kahn makes sense for a right winger. He's a playmaker, which means that we changed Anthony Francis to a legit sniper. We know he can play each end of the ice. He could be a defenseman if he really felt like it. He's trying to hit 1,700 points this year. He could... No, I was going to say he could hit 1,800, but that would be pretty hard. He's going to get close. He's over 1,000 games. He put up 71 goals this past season, but playing between Alexei Pietrangelo and don't let me sleep on this guy, 32 years of age. He's one of the older guys on this squad. 114 points last season. He's a legit scorer. The top two guys on the squad are, he's almost at 700 goals. He probably will hit, he might hit 800 assists this season. We'll see. It's a long season, but I'm glad he's here. He had 14 game winners last year. So, undeniable. $7 million contract. What a stud. He took a team-friendly deal for us. That first line is going to do great things. I know that. Toby Kahn slots in as a better player than Hudobin. Hudobin was supposed to be the sniper, but I guess playing with Anthony Francis Pietrangelo kind of hurt him because he was a sniper. He had the stats to be a sniper, but it really wasn't working out. He was more of a playmaker because you're going to pass the puck to these guys who are going to score. I want Toby Kahn to come back. We'll discuss the contract at a later date, but for right now, I just want to see what he can bring here to the Minnesota Wild. As you can see, he's wearing number 69. No, I did not change that, by the way. Really awesome. The second line is arguably more impressive, which is a weird thing to say. We've transferred Gogolev up to the second line. Now, he did drop from a low franchise to an elite, but now he's 27, so it doesn't matter too much. He's 27 already. I can't believe we drafted him that long ago. Making a good contract. I'm glad he's here in Minnesota, but he's a righty, so he's playing the right wing. They're a +3. Cale Newman is playing the left wing. We can always change him up if we really feel like it, but we went with the handedness. He's going to score goals because you have a legit centerman in Haymaker, which is a phenomenal nickname from the comments section. Love it. Haymaker, Harrison Hadar, love that so much. Radar Hadar, I love him. Legitimately love him. We signed him to the longest term deal you can in this game. 8-year contract. He's going to be around for a very long time. And that second line could be the second line for a very long time. This top 6, if we get Toby Kahn back, or whoever replaces him, if that's the situation, this top 6 is probably going to look like this for half a decade. Now the bottom 6 is looking a little different. Now I know cap was a problem this past year. We took a little bit of a cut in the bottom 6. We lost McKinnon, Gogolev. We lost a lot. That's a fact, but for the long-term success, we want to make sure that top 6 is a threat. We can always add on this team. That third line's looking great because we have not replaced the third line centerman yet. We will, don't worry, before we simulate. Don Kreider, we officially changed him to a two-way forward. He's not really playing like an efficient sniper, which was his playmaking type. He's got great two-way stats. I think as he gets older, he's only 23. It is a contract year. It's time for him to prove himself as an asset to the Minnesota Wild. But you got Skuin, who is personally has proved himself to me. I think he can be a threat for us going forward as a 20 goal scorer on the third line. I think he can do that year in, year out. As a replacement of Chris Griffin a few years ago, I think he's going to be good for us. That third line will be good. The fourth line is looking a little interesting. You got Victor Thomas, who has been a long time AHL forward, finally getting his chance. If it doesn't work here on the fourth line, I totally get it. Lars Prince, centerman who did play some time in Minnesota not too long ago, 12 points in 2034, 2035. So, what, he played with us last year? I guess so. I don't hate a playmaker on the fourth line, I just don't like it too much. But he was the best available guy for us at that point. Then you got Lionel Albertschauser, 22, 80 overall. I think he's ready for the NHL. We need to see if he's ready to take some NHL time, and right now, since the fourth line is kind of in shambles, this is the best chance for him to prove himself. The forward squad is looking good. Now, I know we can debate coaches. We're going to talk about that. There's a lot of discussion going on. There's no discussion going on in the defense. We have legitimately the best defensive squad in the NHL. The majority of our guys are very, very young. Georges Bissonnette is in his prime. Grossman isn't even in his prime, and he's 88 overall. He is going to take on some responsibilities very, very soon. Harry Parrish is getting top-line time. Brandt Clarke is 32, so after Quinn Hughes does ultimately retire, Brandt Clarke is taking his spot as the best defenseman on the squad. He's won a Norris. He's had over a 100-point season. He can do it. He's a legit guy on this squad, but the top four is incredible. Now, it is weird seeing Quinn Hughes on the third pairing. I did debate, let's put Harry Parrish there, Grossman there. Quinn Hughes, as a captain, knows his place on this squad. He has been the top pairing guy for almost his entire career. He's dipping off a little bit, attribute-wise. He had 73 points last year as a 35-year-old defenseman is very impressive. He's going to be 36 very soon. He's done. He is basically done. I don't see him ending his contract here in Minnesota. I see him retiring this year. That would help us out a lot. I know I don't want to lose him, but he knows, as the captain of this squad, what his place on this team is. Now, he's on the power play. He's an offensive threat still, and he's playing alongside a young Johan Enlund, who is a nice offensive defenseman. This defensive squad, there is nothing wrong with it. But let's run over the special teams. It's a little different this year. Newman is actually playing on the wing on the second power play instead of the first power play on the blue line. I just wanted to get Quinn Hughes in there, Harry Parrish, Brandt Clarke, Bissonnette, all those guys. They're doing great. There's not much more to say there. Second power play, this is the best I could really get it. There wasn't really pluses anywhere. I wanted to get the guys who needed to be there. Grossman, Hadar, they're young. They need their time here. Penalty kill, honestly pretty good for the four-man. Don Kreider, Toby Kahn is definitely getting some time. Sergei Gogolev, Anthony Francis, they're all looking great. Don't even worry about a three-man penalty kill. I know it does say minuses, but this is the best I could get it. I know minuses are never a good thing, but the three-man penalty kill is not going to be as important as the other special teams I know going into the playoffs. We can debate that. But for right now, I'm not playing around with it anymore. This is the best I could personally get it. Okay? Don't complain too much. It's like that every season. Four-man continued. 3-on-3, you don't want to mess with us. And OT, extra attackers, you know who it is. Shootout is looking great as well. Let's talk about goaltending. Now, in his rookie season, in his debut season with the Minnesota Wild, he is the official starter. He's only 2 overall worse than Christian Pettersson. I know cap space was the reason Christian Pettersson didn't come back. He probably would have come back if we had the cap, because I did like him as a goaltender. Moore had a great season with Iowa. I know the AHL is completely different, statistically wise. But DeAndre Moore, I'm putting my eggs in one basket. I want to see if this kid can roll with the punches. His backup is Gordon Layton. Now, I know we we did sign Spencer Knight, which kind of was, would you say, exhaustion out of the contract signings between Newman and Hudobin and discussing that for 40 minutes? Yeah, I would say that that's a reason for that. Scratch players, you got Lee Lamb and Cale Muller. Now, the AHL, we're going to talk about it. There's not too many noticeable prospects because they've all kind of transitioned to the NHL. You got Tikkanen on the fourth line. You got Olas, who's 22 at a low top six, might be something one day. Zimmerman, who's 24, who might not be a potential prospect anymore. This is the first time I've done this in NHL 20, is have a +5 on the forward squad. I know I've done that on the power play a bunch of times with Minnesota, but having a +5 here in the AHL is kind of cool. Hopefully, the young Ulf Hedman, who was just signed to a contract, does some damage. The defense, there's a few noticeable guys. Perez, who isn't growing. I know he's an NHL caliber guy, but Enlund has really produced so far. Cronwall, Amante. Other than that, nothing super noticeable. The goaltending, you got Theo Kryba and Zykov. Really good squad in both leagues. But let's go ahead and discuss that third line trade before we even start simulating. Bobby McFumbles, I'm sorry, but you're not the guy to cut it down there on the third line. I need somebody who might be reliable for us. Now, we're kind of roaming into unknown territory. We haven't had to buy a third line or a depth player in a very long time. But we have a few options. I'm thinking of this Kari Latinen from Montreal, who's personally, I really like him because of his contract, who fits right under our cap nice and smoothly. The worst part is it's 1 year, but that really helps us out with a lot of negotiating this coming off season, which always seems to be the case with us. I really like him. There's also a guy from Tampa Bay. What's his name? Tampa Bay. Where is he? They got a lot of players on the block here in Tampa Bay. My God. His name is Ling. Nathaniel Ling. He's a third liner. I'm not sure if he'll work on our squad. I like both guys. We wouldn't have to pay as much for Ling. How many more years? 1 year. So they're both 1 year. We could go with Liam Foudy as well, but he's 35. And he's got that AHL bottom six potential. He's probably going to fall off somewhere soon. Okay, let's look at advanced stats. Nathaniel Ling, how is his giveaway to takeaway ratio? He's bounced around. He was in the WHL with the Winnipeg... What is it? The Winnipeg... what is it? Ice? Something like that? I'm not sure. Colorado, Ottawa, Tampa Bay. Giveaway to takeaway ratio. Giveaway, not bad. Not bad. How about your boy Liam Foudy? He's been in the NHL a lot longer. Never had the chance to use him in Columbus. Not the best giveaway to takeaway ratio guy. More of an offensive kind of player for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Had a pretty good season last year. He's getting older. Might want a chance to win a Stanley Cup here in Minnesota. Now the Montreal Canadiens, let's look at Latinen one more time. I would go after this Walls guy, but his contract wouldn't really fit under our cap. Kari Latinen, 40 points last year with Montreal. Nashville, was with Nashville for a little bit. Giveaway to takeaway ratio is pretty even. The thing is, do we need that phenomenal third line center? It would help out, but we don't really know much about either of these guys. He's been playing second line time on Montreal, so is he gonna fit here in Minnesota? That's kind of my thing. I don't want to pay too much for 1 year. I know it's a rental, it's gonna help us out, but I'm kind of leaning towards Ling, Nathaniel Ling from the Tampa Bay Lightning. We can get this deal done. Pretty good defensive player. I know Tampa Bay's had a few struggles here and there, but they're willing to take on something. We can give them probably 2 seconds for them. Would that do the deal? Trade rejected. I'm willing to do the 2 seconds. We're probably not going to get anything too impressive anyways, so it really doesn't hurt my feelings. Want any of these guys? You take them. LaRose, go right ahead. Nathaniel Ling, welcome to Minnesota. Now that leaves $2 million in cap, so if we need to make a small move here or there, it works out in our favor. So welcome to Minnesota, Nathaniel Ling. Hope you bring me Stanley Cups, fame, and fortune here in Minnesota. But this is the squad. We're already a bunch of minutes into this episode. I know you are here for one thing and one thing only, and that is the regular season. I'm not sure I'm going to do the whole thing today in this episode, but it will be done eventually. We lost to St. Louis in the first. You know what? Let's slow sim game number 1. I want to see if Toby Kahn can get his first as a Wild. Now, preseason, get over it, no problemo, knowing don't need Lassie Thompson. Yes, I can tell that's Lassie Thompson because who names their kid Lassie? Who does that? Think about it. Who names their kid Lassie? Or like Elon Musk naming their child X-AE-12, but instead of the number 12, they use the Roman numeral 12. I want to name my kid Sandwich Cart or something like that. I don't know. Game number 1. St. Louis trying to get a little bit of revenge, even though, you know, it hurts nonetheless. Game number 1 of 82. Let's see if we can pummel them. First period. Of course, DeAndre Moore not starting off his NHL career the best. Philip Zadina, Cowan with 2 goals there. 15 shots for Minnesota, so we're getting the shots, but their goalie is definitely stopping us. Second period. Okay, we get the 2 goals back. Sergei Gogolev opens the scoring for Minnesota in the season. Jogren on the power play. And Nathaniel Ling, his first as a Minnesota Wild. We are pummeling them in shot. In the shot category, let's head into the third, see if we can win this one. Power play goes nowhere. Early. Plenty of time left for Minnesota to bring this back. Another power play, 5-on-3, and Joakim Kamel scores on the ensuing power play. Oh, that sucks. That definitely hurts. And St. Louis looks like they're going to get the better of us yet again to start the regular season. 0-1. 3 stars, I'm sure. Yeah, their goaltender was great. Not the best start, but I feel like this team's going to be a lot shakier. A lot shakier than the last renditions of Minnesota. Of the Minnesota Wild. And when I was looking at coaches, yes, I signed a few in the off season, here, there, everywhere. It wasn't a big deal. I didn't feel like putting it on camera, but we can discuss it right now if you really feel like it. James Wellwood has won 6 Stanley Cups with us. I really like him, and I don't know why I didn't notice that coaches actually had statistics. He's won 6 Stanley Cups, and he's won 12 President's Trophies. So that means we've won 12 President's Trophies in a row. For over a decade, we have won 12 straight President's Trophies. He only played a few games with Carolina, and then he comes over to Minnesota. 40, 45, 49, 60, 60, 60. Plenty of 60-win seasons. Are we looking for number 13? I don't want to get rid of him this second. I know we could, but I want to see if we start taking a downward spin, then we look at changing the coach up. For right now, he's won so many games in a short period of time. We have to give him a little bit of credit. We have to believe in him. 63, looks no older than 42. Let's get this season underway. We lose to St. Louis, but Harry Parrish has been hurt right away, giving his first line responsibilities, his first time in his career, and he's hurt until October 13th. We'll get the scratch player in there. It's not very long. 0-2. Dropping one against Philadelphia. That's no good. Can we get this season going, boys? See, that's kind of my problem here. We're not gonna be the best team anymore. I think that's a fact. But we're gonna struggle. Oh my God, Harry Parrish. Jesus, come on, man. Yeah. Oh, we win our first game of the season against Columbus. Beat Buffalo. Now we're 500. Harry Parrish, get it together, man. I know injuries aren't per se your fault, but Jesus, man, you're not starting off your first line role as a great rendition here. You know what? We're gonna drop you to the second pairing. Grossman, you're getting that first line time. You're a beauty. Harry Parrish, get it together, man. Calgary, come on. 4-3 loss, under 500. We're not gonna be as strong as a team. Oh my God, that first line's getting crushed. Oh no, it's Georges Bissonnette. Well, still. Oh my God, the defense is getting obliterated here early in the season. Let's go ahead and check the draft class. Okay, looking very, very interesting here. The first overall projected pick is a 5'9" center out of the Kingston Frontenacs in the OHL, Ryder Foster. There's a few big name talents here. Hopefully we can get our hands on something, but we're such a deep prospect pool, it really doesn't matter. Oh my God, 2-5-0. Minnesota is struggling out of the gates. Yikes. Okay. Muller, 3 games. He hasn't even been the worst, but Bissonnette, please come back and be good, man. Come on. Please stop getting hurt, defense. 2-5-1. Philadelphia, big win there. Can we finish 500 this month? Tampa Bay, 4-2 win. We're playing pretty solid against the Eastern. Oh, I spoke too soon. Holy Jesus Christ, Minnesota. 4-7-1, worst in the Central Division. Now, I know you're surprised. Oh, and why aren't you freaking out more? I kind of understood this team wasn't going to be the best after all the turnover. I knew we weren't going to be the best. Toby Kahn is having a phenomenal season, but something is obviously not right. We're going to check it out. Something isn't going so well. Let's see. You know, Toby Kahn's been great, not taking anything away from him, but the defense has been atrocious. Almost everybody on the squad is minus Kel Newman. He's scoring goals. Anthony Francis is not over a point per game. That kind of scares me. Do we change him back to a playmaker? I'm not super worried about that. I know we'll get out of the funk sooner or later, but come on, guys. Start it up. Gogolev, 10 points, doing great. Petrangelov, 9 points, can be doing better. Kreider, 5 points, but everything after that, geez Louise, everybody's kind of not producing. The fourth line is doing great. They're not even minuses. I'm happy to see that, but Harrison Hayter, please do better. Yeah, we gotta pick it up. Defense, how's it looking so far? Jesus Christ. Quinn Hughes is always the man. If there's one man you can always count on, it's Quinn Hughes. He does the impossible every day. 84 overall. I know he's probably upset about ice time, but we have to be smart about our young guys, right? We have to play them right. He's almost... Is he going to hit 1,400? He's going to hit 1,400 points this season. He's almost a point per game as a 36-year-old defenseman. Brant Clark's been great. Harry Parrish has been great in the games that he's played. Matthias Grossman, 2 points, +2. He's one of the only plus defensemen. Yeah. Oh, it's 100% goaltending, is it not? Yikes, none of them are playing well. DeAndre Moore. God. Yikes. Okay. Uh-huh. Yes. Huh. Okay. Yeah, there's something obviously wrong. Hold on, we've just not been playing well. Nothing's really working. So let me try something. Nathaniel Ling has 4 goals. He's -4, though. Nobody's really playing well. Do we call up Spencer Knight from the AHL? I'm going to do it. Call up Spencer Knight, see what he can do. Our backup in the NHL isn't really doing much. Spencer Knight might be a good addition to the squad. Take some time from the young kids because they are not playing well at all. Spencer Knight, welcome to the squad. That means we have to send somebody down. Is Leighton on a 2-way contract? Waivers. He's on waivers. Ugh. Cancel, 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 cancel. Damn, that sucks. No, that's... Oh, why do I keep pressing that? Can I not hold 3 goalies on the NHL roster? Can I send somebody else down? Because I'm not a huge fan of that. Why do I keep pressing that? Thank you. Can I send, please? Would that be possible? Bobby McFumbles, maybe? Bobby McFumbles would be on waivers. It looks like I'll be... Yeah, he wasn't claimed. Good. I'm okay with that. Spencer Knight, we're gonna get you some time here in the NHL. We signed you for a reason. I just didn't really think super clearly, but you're taking some time. Let's see if you can help us at all. Spencer Knight, you're gonna have to be important for us as a 34-year-old. Bring something to the table. Now I'm gonna leave everything else the same. I have to trust this team. We might not win a President's Trophy, but there's one award in mind that we need to win. There's a frame, and we are slowly, over time, getting worse. 8-7 barn burner over the Calgary Flames. 2 OT wins in a row over the Pacific Conference Division. Why did I say conference? Here we go. Let's heat up Minnesota. Get some wins under your belt. Another OT win. The fans are getting their money's worth. Big win against our biggest rivals ever in the Colorado Avalanche. Come on, Minnesota. 3-2 win. Over 500 now, 3rd in the division. Our division is always going to be close. Jeez Louise. Boston, shootout loss, but we pick up an important point there. 3rd for a 4th in Reese. No, why would I take that? Keep it going, Minnesota. 4-2 victory. We're at 10 wins now. Anaheim, 6-4 victory. Gryba for Jack Quinn, probably. Okay, you know what? I'll check this out because how is Quinn? How is Quinn at this point in the game? 70. Why would I off? What? Shut up, Chicago. Shut your damn mouths. What kind of trade offer is that? What is that? LA Kings. Big victory right there. The reigning Stanley Cup champions. We beat them. Shutout for one of our goalies. I'll take it. Nashville. That's our first loss of the month in regulation. Can we finish the month? Nope. 2 regulation losses in the month, but a much better month all around. I will take it. Anthony Francis is now stepping it up. 29 points. Not as good as I would really want him to be, but after the slow start, everybody probably picking it up. Not as many minuses. That is a huge positive, or a huge plus, if I would so say. I was trying to say an expression, but it went sideways. I was trying to make a joke about positivity and plus minus. I'm hilarious. Anthony Francis, 15 goals. Toby Kahn is still a machine. He's playing really, really well. He's playing really good hockey. I'm hoping we can bring him back. Cale Newman, 14 goals, really stepping up to the plate. So we have 4 point-per-game players. Not sure about the defense. Sergei Gogolev with 17. Haydar with 17 points as well. Second line slowly but surely getting it together. Kreider's really stepping it up after a few really disappointing seasons in a row, but that's really good to see. Schoon, 10 points, minus, so the third line's not doing the whole best. Kreider's a plus player, though, so that's good to see. Yeah, and then the fourth line's... Oh, God, that fourth line is... Okay, so they were our best line defensively in the first month, and now they're god-awful. Okay, but I do like Albert Schauser. He's a good fourth liner. He just... maybe we look for a fourth line center. Maybe Bobby McFumbles takes that spot. Not totally sure. Brant Clark has taken the most points by defenseman, 23. Great season for him so far. Definitely taking the role as Quinn Hughes. He's almost at 1,000 points. My God. Had so many 1,000 points, 1,000 point defensemen on our squad. Harry Parrish is doing great. First line responsibilities. Quinn Hughes, 13 points, so you know the old guy is taking a bit of a hit. He's probably going to have one of his worst seasons in a very long time, but we know he's the captain, heart and soul of this squad. Matthias Grossman, 11 points. Bissonnette, 7. Muller, Enland with no points. That's not great to see. Goaltending. Well, Spencer Knight came in. He was okay. 4 games, 2-2, 901. Okay, not bad. Moore has gotten better statistically. Could be a bit better, but you know what? Let's keep simulating. I'm not sure how many Jesus. I'm not sure how many months I want to get through. Let's get to January. Let's get to January. Let's go this entire month, see if we're struggling. We're not sure where we're going to be. I want us to be close to first place in our division so we don't have to worry too much. We're probably not going to be a 60-win squad. Probably out of the realm of possibility now. Detroit, dumpster fire, beat them easily. Pittsburgh Penguins, draft class, I'm not super worried about that. At the second loss against Pittsburgh, so we're 2-1 in the month. Make that 3-1. That's good. 3-1. Make that 3-2. Almost 500 in the month. Come on. 4 and 3. 4 and 3. 4 and 2? 4 and 2. Yeah, 4 and 2, stupid. 5 and 2. Big wins. 6 and 2 in the month. 20 wins on the record right there. I stopped calculating our record this month because my brain went mush. But it's been a good month so far. Let's finish out really solid, and there won't be too much cause for concern heading into the rest of the season. Victor Thomas is out, so Lee Lamb will get his spot for a little bit. Arizona, Vegas, and Dallas to end the month of December, heading into a new year. Victor Thomas, welcome back. Probably not the best guy to have on the fourth line anyways. Lee Lamb, 1 game, too bad, so sad. Victor Thomas, welcome back. Sniper on the fourth line. Ugh. Yeah, we might have to do a little bit of tinkering with that fourth line. Don't like the player types too much, but they were our best available players, right? So that's what I kind of went with, right? I don't know. So, few losses here and there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 regulation losses in the month. But it was a good overall month. Cale Newman has stepped up, giving him a new contract, and he has really excelled. That's good for us. That is good. But let's see all the boys. Let's see how everybody is performing so far. Cale Newman, 46 points, having a great year. Anthony Francis is struggling. Now, I'm debating changing him back to a playmaker. That first line would no longer have that +1, but he's kind of struggling. I mean, a point per game, right? He's not struggling, but halfway through the season, he should at least be at 50 points by now, right? I know it's a lot to expect out of him, but he's on pace for one of his worst seasons yet. Toby Kahn is at no fault. No fault. He's doing great. And Alexei Petrangelov is having a great year. Not a lot. 18 goals is a lot. What am I even complaining about? Harrison Haydar, 38 points, almost a point per game after going 17 and 25, has stepped it up. That is what I love to see from Haymaker, Harrison Haydar. Sergei Golev, 30 points, not too shabby. Don Kreider, pretty solid. Skuin, Ling, they've all really turned it around. Pluses, fourth line has gotten better. That is huge positive for us. That's good. Brant Clark, 35 points. He's really making pace this year. Maybe a Norris? I'm not so sure, but he's definitely playing like one. 26 points for Harry Parrish, taking that first pairing responsibility. He's really turning it up for us. Quinn Hughes, 19 points. He's not going to be the point-per-game defenseman or 100-point defenseman of old, but he's the heart and soul of this squad, and I absolutely love him either which way. Matthias Grossman, 18 points, plus 19, 16 penalty minutes. Not doing too shabby. Georges Bissonnette with 16, Enlund with 3. The defense is doing pretty good. They always put up points. Goaltending, what's it looking like now? DeAndre Moore had all the 4 losses that month. He got a bunch of wins, though. Save percentage is floating around 900. Hasn't really been 900 at all this season. Spencer Knight, statistically, is getting better. So as a backup, he seems to be the better goalie? I'm not sure, but right now they're winning games. I know we can win more, but I want to see the entire league. What are the award races looking like here in 2035, almost 2036? Jaden Weeman is the best goaltender in the NHL right this second. He has 2 or 3 Vezinas, 4 maybe. I mean, we drafted him. We know all about him. We traded him because he's a nuisance is in the playoff. Let's look at his playoff record. Oh, so last few times... Oh, he hasn't been in the playoffs in a very long time. Oh. Huh. Yeah. Funny. DeAndre Moore has the second most wins, but it's very close to the top. Weeman's running away with it, though, right? Rookie skaters... Looking like Bernard Robichaud. He was the 2nd overall pick last draft. So, good for him, Philadelphia. You got Kron, you got Sestito, Reed, Hansen, Voloshenko. A lot of young kids this year. A lot of young kids. What about the Norris? Rasmus Dahlin has the most points by defenseman. Brandt Clark isn't too far behind, but with that plus-minus, it's going to be a hard race to the end. It's going to be a very, very hard race, but all skaters. How about the Art Ross? Joshua Waugh. Oh, remember when he reverse swept us in the Stanley Cup Finals? I remember. I never forget. Putting over a goal per game. Over a goal per game. Nuts. That's incredible play from Joshua Waugh. 32 years of age. I know what he's all about. We had him in Columbus. He's an absolute beauty. Jack Hughes is 2nd in the league on Boston. Oh, Boston. Boston is a team that you don't want to mess with. They have Picard. Yeah, that's a scary team. That's a very scary team. Langleader having a great career in Arizona. Good job. Yeah, Interesting, but I know we have a good team. I know we can compete. That's exactly what we're going to do. Thing is, I'm not sure if I'm going to record the rest of the regular season directly after recording this, but I know you guys would probably have some ideas, but I kind of have some ideas of my own. And I did trade for Toby Kahn without your consent, so I think that's a plus for me. I'm not sure. But it's a long regular season ahead of us, halfway done. Where will we finish? Are we a playoff team? I would say we're first place in our division, not too far behind first place in the NHL. Long season ahead of us. Where will it take us? I'm not sure. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share with people who think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.